Welcome folks, it's the ZindagiTvKe show brought to you by MacCoffee. A big shout out to Royal Orchid Azure, Wet Lounge and the Bollywood Casino. Today's guest is, every woman is wearing her clothes. She's a local stroke international fashion designer. I'm talking about Sheenu Hooda. Let's talk to her. Welcome, it's the ZindagiTvKe show brought to you by MacCoffee. Sheenu, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The pleasure is mine. I know we've been trying to meet, but it's not happened. But now it's finally happened.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
So, Sheenu Designs, I must say you're doing a brilliant job in terms of your fashion designs and everything. And today we are going to find out all about Sheenu Hooda and her designs.
Okay.
Tell me, how did it all start, this fashion business?
Before 12 years ago, I come into fashion industry,
Okay.
and my first fashion show is 2010.
2010.
Yes.
Okay.
And 2011 we did together.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
amazing. The New Year function and everything. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. New Year's.
New Year's, yeah, that was good stuff. Now, tell me, how you're actually born and brought up in Pakistan.
Yes, yeah.
And did you study fashion there, or
No.
What was it?
It's just I did after my kids, then I studied fashion. I did this fashion designing course, and I got married very young age,
Very
so
early
no
age.
chance to study or anything. Pakistan, how
Yeah,
people get married so early,
true.
so
Chatmangani fat gaya.
yeah.
So Sheenu, tell me, what made you get into fashion itself? Why not singing?
Because I always love clothes,
Yeah.
always love fashion, and always when I was young, I always do color combination when I go market, buy stuff with mom. So I always like to buy fabric, different fabric, and this. So that's why I wanted to become a fashion designer. Always it's my dream that I want to become fashion designer. Yeah.
Okay, and did you consider modeling at the same time with it, or no?
No, not at all.
Was it because you were in Pakistan and all that?
Yes,
or
Pakistan,
it's a bit restricted
they're very
there.
restricted. Yeah.
All right. So coming to Kenya, what made you move to Kenya?
My husband is Kenyan. So
Okay. Was it love or arranged marriage?
it's completely typical arranged
Typical
marriage.
arranged
Yeah.
marriage. Good.
Pakistan, there is no
Yeah,
love
yeah.
marriage in that time.
So when you got here to Kenya,
Yeah.
how was it? What made you start Sheenu Designs?
Actually, I got married at the age of 17.
Wow.
And then 18, I became mother.
Okay.
So when my kids were 4-5 year old,
Okay.
so I feel like doing something that
Okay.
time. And then I went to Pakistan, and 2009 or 10,
Ji.
no, not 2000, 99,
Achha.
99, yeah. I went to Karachi, and then I studied fashion designing course for 1 year. Yeah.
Wow. So you actually studied the whole course. And is it like you couldn't get that course here in Nairobi, or you preferred it in Pakistan?
I preferred in Pakistan because the kids were young that time, so
Yeah.
mom can look after and I can do it here.
Okay,
So that's
okay.
why. And here I think I don't know anything here
Yeah.
so that time.
Yeah.
So that's why it's easy for me to go there and study there.
So it must have been very hard adjusting from Pakistan to
It's very difficult.
Kenya
Yeah. It's
and being
completely
away
different
from home.
culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely different.
But you've adapted, trying to adapt and
yes,
everything.
yeah. You have to sometimes when you have no choice, you have to adapt.
Yeah. True. So tell me then, what was your first major breakthrough in the fashion?
2010.
2010. What happened that brought
I
you out?
always wanted to come to fashion industry, and I keep
Yeah.
on checking all the time Facebook and everything that how do I get into fashion industry.
Ji.
And my one good friend Nilofer Abji, she
Yeah.
told me, why you not trying Preeti and do something show with her. I said I don't know her. So then she introduced me, and then we did fashion show together 2010. Nilofer is a makeup artist, yeah. And then Preeti is an event, so we did all together, and it was really nice. People really loved my clothes, and after that, people were asking me about the fashion shows.
Oh, okay. So then after that, you started designing more and more.
More and more, yeah.
Okay. So then how does the design process come? Tell us, kaise hota hai, how do you pick your colors? How do you pick your design? And
When you
share with
design,
us. Don't give us your secrets. Just tell us the general stuff.
I think when you designer have something different concept or
Ji.
different things. Whenever you meet designer, you will feel that they are they think something different from others.
Yeah.
So my color combination always very bright. You can see I use a lot of bright colors, and first you have to buy the fabric, then you have to do paperwork, then you have to do sketch work, then the workers do handwork and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Like that,
Do you remember the first piece you ever sold in Kenya?
Yes.
Which one was that? And it was to who?
My best friend Shanaz, she bought, and she always liked my clothes. And whenever I was wearing, she told me, "Why you not starting this starting clothes thing? And you design such a nice clothes and this and that. You wear such a nice clothes." And then slowly I start, and then she's the first one she bought.
She bought for you, and after that, inshallah, mashallah, everybody else.
Everybody liked that.
Now tell me, Sheenu, after that, what happened? I mean, who pushed you, or what pushed you to drive more into fashion? I mean, because I can see it's a whole gradual process. You started very slowly, and then you started climbing, and mashallah, you're here now. How did that whole process happen?
I feel ऐसे कि everything comes slowly in life.
जी.
कुछ भी अचानक नहीं आ जाता है.
ये तो है. सब्र का फल मीठा होता है.
Yes, yeah. So I think you have to. All the time kids ask me that how have we become fashion designer like you, we wanted to become. I always tell them everything comes slowly, not that
it doesn't happen
all the time. So I first show was 2010, and then the same time I did the 2011 I did one show with you, and then I always wanted to go Swahili Fashion Week, and it was my dream. Who does it? That is in Tanzania and Mustafa is doing. So I keep on sending Mustafa pictures. So he say, "You are Pakistani designer. I can't take you because it's a Swahili theme." And I say, "Mustafa, give me one chance. Please give me." And then finally he gave me chance, and then I think that time I was the second best designer of Swahili Fashion Week 2012. And the people really loved my clothes, and that time I really completely I designed different things, like a lot of African prints and African colors and a lot of Pakistani and African culture to mix
it all together. So you would consider yourself as what? As a Pakistan? Your clothes are what? Pakistani clothes or what?
Pakistani clothes.
And then you put a touch to it and everything.
Touch to something, fusion like that.
Okay, so at the Swahili Fashion Week, you didn't have a tough time, coming up with Swahili elements into it.
It was very tough time.
You know, your Pakistani kapde, isme Swahili kya kare,
It was so difficult. So I just bought some khanga fabric and this and that, and I went to Pakistan and I just applique in chiffon and then handwork. So it was completely different, but people really like it.
And you stitch at the moment. You stitch your own clothes.
I still do Swahili. Yes, I still do.
Okay. So tell me, when somebody comes and tells you, do you do custom pieces?
Yes, I do. Lot of
somebody says, I want it like this, like this.
Yes, I do.
You do that. So tell us, Sheenu, who's been your biggest inspiration in the fashion industry?
I always like Pakistani designers, like Umar Saeed.
I know Umar Saeed.
Yes, he's one of my favorite designers.
Yes.
And I always, the way he works and heavy clothes, I really like his clothes. And some of West, like Sherry Hill, I really like his designs. I always follow her. And
Good stuff, guys. Keep watching. It's the ZindagiTvKe show brought to you by MacCoffee. We'll be back right after this. You tell me now, how is it that, do you do wedding clothes as well?
Yes, I do a lot of wedding clothes.
So what is your speciality as such? What is your best work?
The wedding clothes, mostly girls come with a lot of ideas, and then they tell me that we want something like, there's two different look, like Indian look is completely different, like a short top and the long skirt, and Pakistani look is completely different. So nowadays girls are very smart. They use the both looks they want to use. That one day they look like an Indian bride, and one day they look like a Pakistani. So it's completely different. So I designed a lot of bridals.
So your strength would be what? Bridals?
Yes, bridals.
Because yes. Sabse strong point would be bridals.
Bridals, people love my bridal stuff a lot.
All right, and influence-wise, you see, there's Pakistani, and then there's Indian fashion. I mean, I'm sure when you came, you were one of the first Pakistani designers in Kenya.
Here nobody was
wearing.
There was
a lot of Indian.
Nobody was wearing. When I was wearing, people were just look at me that what she's wearing.
So what was the major difference between the Indian design and the Pakistan design?
There is a lot of difference. If you can see 100 Indian dresses girls are wearing and one Pakistani suit, you can just tell that this is from Pakistan.
And everything.
So Pakistani and Indian culture is same. Even the clothes cuts are same, but you can tell that what is Pakistani and what is Indian.
Would it be the
Indian
finishing
are more modern, I feel, and Pakistani a bit traditional.
Traditional.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So given the chance, you know, to work with one fashion designer in the world, who would you work with?
Umar Saeed.
Umar Saeed. Again, it comes back to that,
yes,
You don't like Manish Malhotra?
I like Manish Malhotra. He is also my favorite designer, but I like Umar's. I like more traditional
stuff and everything.
Yes,
okay.
So Manish is a bit modern, you can tell.
Yeah. So tell me, all at home, all your clothes, everything are your own.
Yes, most.
Whatever you wear, everything you just. Doesn't it feel odd stitching your own clothes and wearing them? You know,
I love to wear my own design clothes.
I see those selfies, you know, they're like, okay, there's another Sheenu design.
Yes,
Good one. You know, now tell me, how does it feel, you know, because on Facebook, I see, Instagram, I see nearly 90% of the girls are wearing Sheenu Hooda. I mean, mashallah, that's amazing. How did that happen? How does it feel to do that?
I really feel good because the young girls, they don't like to wear traditional clothes nowadays.
Yes.
But and mummy always, everybody, all mummies are saying, please tell her to wear traditional. Shadi mein bhi jeans pen ke chali jayegi, you know, like that. So I always tell, bring them, then I can dress. And then sometimes the girls come and they really like my stuff because it's a bit, they can see the modern touch and not too much work.
And then it's like, you know, from the aunties to the nannies to the dadis and to the young ones, everybody's wearing Sheenu Hooda. How do you see a balance in the design and everything? Is there like a, you know, this piece is for an old person, adult person, this is for a youngster? Does it work like that in design?
According to me, you have to. But sometimes ladies doesn't want to accept the age, and then they can behave like a
youngster
20
all the time,
and if she's 40. So according to me, as a designer, I always tell them that dress
your
according to your age, so you look more elegant, look more young. I feel. So there is a lot of difference between auntie and ladies and the girls.
So you actually showed that difference in an outfit.
Yes,
That's an art. I mean, how you do that is just amazing.
And then they have to look good.
And they have to look good as well.
Good and little modern.
Oh,
and slim.
Slim button. Now tell me, you know, you've not thought about dressing up men?
I do.
And doing men designs as well? You do
sherwanis
and all
sherwanis, that? Yes, I do sherwanis,
So are they, you know, I know of a couple of designers, I'll not name them, I'm sure even you know them, you know, they don't do the work themselves. They say, hum ye designer hai, I'm this designer, but they'll just go outside Pakistan, India, they buy the stuff and they bring it. And then they sell it.
Yes.
But they sell it as if they have the ones who have made it. What is your take on that?
It's okay. They have to make money, so I think it's fine.
You're too naive to say that. All right, and then, you know, it's like, you're telling me something about your mom.
My mom is also a designer in Karachi, and she have a very big setup.
Okay.
So I'm working with my mom, actually.
You work with your mom and everything, and you just hand in and everything.
Yes.
Now, last but not least, you know, what's the difference, major difference between design work in Kenya and design work in Pakistan? Is there like, are we very behind in Kenya? Are we current? I mean, bahut fasla, you know?
Yes.
How far are we?
Actually, not very far, but according to me, Kenya, only one thing is a problem, tailors.
I
think the tailors are not very expert, you can say, but otherwise...
but nowadays every tailor is from Pakistan and India and Kenya.
Yes, the Kenyan...
Ghar mein baithe
but they are not very professional like Pakistan and India. Indian tailors are also very good, but I feel here only the workmanship is a bit difficult to design the clothes.
To understand the whole thing and everything. All right, tell us
and the handwork.
And the handwork. Yeah, so tell us more about your achievements so far, you know.
I did Swahili Fashion Week, I told you, and Fashion High Tea I'm doing from last 4 years.
Wow, tell me more about that.
I think it's a very big fashion event in Kenya, and people really recognize me after that also, because a lot of people come, and I think it's the biggest fashion event at the moment in Kenya.
All right. And now, what's your take about fashion itself in Kenya? General fashion, the designers.
I think now the designers are very good. Now Kenyan designers are very good. You can see a lot of designers like Jamil Walji, Mohammed Bana. I think they are doing very good.
And everybody is different, or it's
everybody
same,
is different. No, everybody is different. Even Vishali is different. Bana, you can see different. Vishali is too good, very good with hand paint. Bana is very good with the bikinis and he's a very famous like that. And Jamil, is a very good gown design.
And last but not least, tell us the whole experience. I'm just curious about this. When somebody comes to tell you, I want a dress, or I tell you I want a sherwani or something, how does the process, how does it happen? Do you draw it out? Do you sketch it out? पहले draw करते हो, फिर बोलते हो ये cut ऐसे होगा, ये ऐसे होगा, इधर हम ये डालेंगे, इधर handwork ये करें. How is the whole process?
Nowadays whoever is coming, mostly internet is very, nowadays how people are go to internet, check this, Shenu, we want this, they can, Shenu, I want this. So the first thing I can tell, according to the girl, how she is, if she's tall, slim, then there is no, she can wear anything. But sometimes short and fat, so you have to tell according to the, as a designer, I have to tell them that what looks good on you and what doesn't look good on you. So first I give them the option that I think this is not look good on you, this look good, but still she wants, then I have to design. But first you have to buy fabric, then the handwork, then...
So you do everything?
I do everything.
Your cost involves everything?
Everything, yes.
So what's the range like about?
My range starts from 15,000.
15,000 is your lowest?
Yes,
so
lowest,
15 to 50 to 100?
Yes.
Tell me, Shenu, which is the most expensive design you've ever done?
Wedding dress, mostly I do, but I can't disclose the figure.
We want to see that,
I will send you the pictures for sure,
Tell me, the expense comes what? You put diamonds in it or something? Or the fabric is more expensive?
I say my fabric is always expensive. I never compromise with fabric. That's why people like my stuff, because I always work on pure. That is between some difference between other designers and me, that I don't compromise my fabric, not at all. So I use pure fabric, and pure fabric make you look slim. The first thing is that, and of course the handwork. So handwork is also expensive, So mostly we do in bridal clothes.
All right, last but not least, there's currently in the news, it's everywhere, this thing about international exhibitions taking place and, cutting off the local people and, it affects everyone. What's your say on that?
Some of the business closed down because of that. And even as a designer, I will tell that I have my own clientele, but even 30% my business
is affected.
So a lot of people are upset with that. And whenever they have off season, they come here. So now Diwali is coming in October, November, so they are coming, everyone is coming in September. So it's not fair for local people.
And then they bring the stuff which is outdated there.
Outdated completely,
and they bring it over here
and they dump here everywhere.
So are you guys doing something about this?
Yes, we have now, we all have a business association group, and then we are trying to help, government can help us, and media people, then you guys can help us, because it's really unfair for us, because it's not right that they just come for a tourist visa, and they just do everything illegal, and then they just sell and go, and we do everything legally here.
Tell me, working with models, how has your experience been? Tall models, short models, Africans, Indians?
I think I work with all height, and I did plus size models, short models, tall models. I use all girls, and according to me, whenever designers come from abroad, and they always tell, we want 5'6", 5'7", but it's difficult for us to get. So according to me, it's not important that model should be only 5'6" or 5'7". I think normal girls can also model. So I always use all types.
Some of your favorite models in Kenya?
Pinky Gilani, Aliza Rajan, and Pooja Samani. Shameen. I lot of work with African girls also, like Shameen and Stella.
So during your fashion events and all, you decide your models yourself, or you are told these are your models?
A fashion show, mostly they give us the models.
They give you the models,
agency. But when I do my own show, then I decide my own models, and my shoot,
Okay, and now tell me, any advice to the viewers who want to become fashion icons? I know a lot of girls look up on you and they say, when I grow up, I want to be like Sheenu Hooda. What do you have to say about that?
I feel that whatever you want to become and what you like, always become that. Don't follow that she's a fashion designer, I want you to follow that. She's a doctor, I want you to follow that. And everything is coming slowly in life. Nothing is come fast. So you have to be patient.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Sheenu.
Yeah,
thank you so much for your time. This is from our sponsor to you.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
your
much.
MacCoffee. May Allah bless you and may you stitch more and more and more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching, guys. ZindagiTvKe show. Keep liking, sharing and subscribe to our YouTube channel, ZindagiTvKe.